Different levels. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of Wheels Boutique. I am your host, David Nussbaum, and today we have a Grigio Silverstone Ferrari 812 GTS. So the GTS signifies that it is the convertible, and I'll get in it in a little bit and put the top down so you guys can see the whole operation. But the reason that we're featuring this today is because it has a slew of modifications. It's got wheels, suspension, carbon aero, and exhaust kit. So let me get right into it. First and foremost, what you're gonna see right off the bat is gonna be these Anrky performance wheels. So these are the AN28s. I can tell because the AN28 has the even 10 spoke, so all of the distance between each spoke is exactly the same. And I see a little bit of these little bolts that are peeking out on the backside, which you have to be up really close to tell and see them, but that's how I know that it's a two-piece wheel. So that'll be the AN28. You have the flange here that's hiding the bolts. You can also order this wheel with the bolts exposed, or you could order in a full one piece, which would be the AN18s, or a three piece, which will have a lip, and that'll be called the AN38s. This is a beautiful finish. It's brushed gloss clear. So you got the hand brushing right out of the machining. Then you hit it with the gloss clear coat and it gives it a beautiful, beautiful look. We're in the shade right now, but as we pull it out into the Miami sun, it's gonna pop like you would not believe. Of course, you wanna maintain your Ferrari center cap, so they made it with the bezel so that you can fit that in there. From a sizing perspective, we do make them larger than what the car comes with from factory. So I think we have another 812, actually, no, that's gonna be an FF or a Lusso, but we have another F12, 812 that is parked over there, and it's got the factory 20-inch all the way around, which looks extremely tiny. This car looks proportional because we did a larger size in the front and a larger size in the rear. So right up front, we're gonna have a 21-inch by 10.5-inch wide, and in the rear, we're gonna have a 22-inch by 12.5-inch wide. We could also do a 13-inch wide if this customer was gonna really, really slam it, but since this is a moderate lowering, we went with the 12.5-inch. From a tire perspective, you got Michelin Pilot Sport 4S, 285 30/21 in the front, and massive 335 25/22s in the rear. So both the front and the rear tires are much wider than what the car comes with from factory. Gives it a little bit extra traction, which is well needed for a car that has over 700 horsepower like this one. Moving on to the suspension, we did the Novitec suspension. We do it all the time on these Ferrari cars. They are the best in the business when it comes to maintaining a lot of the factory ride quality, and it's fully adjustable when you're installing it, so you can make it in whatever height that the customer wants. In this case, as I mentioned, the moderate low, we didn't slam it too much. From a bodywork perspective, you'll notice that this looks a little bit more aggressive than your standard 812 GTS. The reason being is we went with the 1016 Industries carbon fiber body kit. Now let's get into some of those pieces because there's a ton in their carbon fiber program. Right off the bat, we have the front spoiler lip with a nice little fin that starts over here, goes way down to the bottom. Not a lot of clearance here, as you can see, about 4 to 5 fingers, but this car has a front axle lift, so luckily you just press that button on the interior. It'll give it about, I think it's maybe 45 millimeters, close to 2 inches of lift, and then you can clear some obstacles. There are some components on this front end that 1016 offers that is not on this car. Number one, they have a headlight eyebrow kind of cover, which I believe would go here. And then they also have an insert they would go right in the middle here. So make sure that you jump on our website, go to the 1016 page, and then check that out, because there's some of those pieces there. One of my favorite pieces from a design perspective is going to be the side skirt. So the side skirt works all the way from the front wheel well, of course, all the way to the back, and then it creates uniformity with the design language with having a fin here as well, the same that you have on the front spoiler. So the beautiful carbon fiber weave, continue down to the back side, and of course you have multiple pieces over here on the backside. So if you go to 1016's website or even our website, you're going to see the multiple pieces that they have listed for the carbon fiber kit. The first one that they have is going to be the rear diffuser area here. So the center section essentially goes from this all the way to this side, and that's one singular piece. The other piece is going to be what they call a rear bumper attachment, which is going to be from here to here. So you've got the fin, which is actually, you can see a break in the line. It's a multi-piece carbon fiber component. And then you have the surround with the mesh for the exhaust tips. And these exhaust tips, they're not too hot. We just moved the car from the front to the back. But when you pair this multi-piece carbon fiber with this rear diffuser, you can see it makes the car look so much more aggressive than what it did from factory. And also, if you don't have a carbon fiber factory option on the car, then those pieces come with a black plastic that's really cheaper. It makes a car of this price look cheap. So you want to replace it with the carbon fiber. It's a lighter piece since it is carbon fiber, and also makes it look a lot more aggressive and unique to versus a regular stock 812 GTS. 1016 also offers the forged carbon weave. So if you want to get a little bit more crazy and do a crazier design pattern on the carbon fiber, they do that forged carbon, which is like a crush kind of design, which I think would look very cool on this car, especially with a more subdued gray. So I would love to see what a combination like that would look like, but I digress a little bit. So then moving on to the exhaust component, we have a full IPE exhaust system, which sounds glorious. I will get inside, we will do some revs, and you will hear some flybys because you can hear this car from a mile away. When our techs usually complete a build, they take it out of the bays, they do a little circuit that's around our area, our immediate area, and you can hear this car go all the way down the street, make the right-hand turn, go on the major roadway, come all the way around behind the neighborhood, and come back. That's how loud the IPE exhaust is, and it is valved, so if you don't want it to be that loud, maybe you're stuck in traffic or in the neighborhood late at night, you can have the valves closed, which is much needed on an exhaust system that sounds like this. So want to open up the interior a little bit as well, because the interior is very unique how it's spec'd. It's got so much carbon fiber, which kind of goes with the theme of the 1016 carbon fiber on the outside. And you have a lot of yellow accents. You've got the yellow piping down the middle of the seat. You've got the yellow stitching. You've got the yellow around the button surround with the center console area, yellow on the paddles. So there's a lot of yellow, a lot of black leather, and a lot of carbon fiber, which is a very unique combination. Let me jump in, put the top down so you guys can see the mechanism, and I'll get back to talk about a couple more things. So there are very few things that I love in the automotive industry than a convertible with a Ferrari V12 naturally aspirated sound. As you guys can hear it, it was absolutely amazing. Marvin must have some earplugs because he's shaking his head behind the camera. He's like, it's absolutely ridiculous, especially when it vibrates off the walls. But If you guys go back on our back catalog on our YouTube channel, the last video that we had, we also had another 812 GTS on there. It was a blue with a lot of yellow piping, and on that car we did a Novitec carbon fiber kit. So I would love for you guys to go back to that video, kind of look at the design language from both the Novitec carbon fiber kit and the 1016 carbon fiber kit. Let us know in the comments which one you like better from a design perspective, or if you would kind of maybe mix and match the pieces, because they are available in a beautiful carbon fiber weave that would match each other. Another thing that I want you guys to let us know is, do you want something that's a little bit more wild, like in the last video with the blue 812 GTS with the polished gold Anrkys, or something a little bit more subdued with this gray, the brush clear Anrkys and the IP exhaust, and a little bit more more subdued, just like I had mentioned. So that's always very interesting to say, because in our day-to-day workings and me dealing with customers, it's split pretty much down the middle. I've got 50% of the guys that want to do something a little bit more subdued, and then I got another 50% of the guys that want to just do something radical like in our last video. So make sure that you go to that video, leave us a comment, and then come to this video, leave us a comment as well. Make sure that you subscribe, because it helps support us. Like the smash the like button, right? That's the saying that the kids say these days. Smash that like button. Make sure you hit the bell notification. That way you guys know when we're going to upload the next video. And make sure you give us a shout out on Instagram, our website, www.wheelsboutique.com. Give us a call, 786-249-0127, extension 2109 if you want to speak to me. I do work in the building, believe it or not. So let us know what you think about these beautiful cars, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.